And we are live. What's going on, grapplers? Justin here. I want to talk to y'all real quick. We're going live, and I just want to get my thoughts off my mind. To me, right now, the UFC is really, really quiet in the talent pool. I'm not really getting the vibe and the buzz and that aggressive feeling about these upcoming fights. So, with that being said, I want to talk to y'all about my 2018, the year of 2018 fights I wish would happen, but chances are they're not going to happen. And this is just crazy. It's crazy to me to think that these fights won't happen or can't happen, and egos get in the way. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I love wrestling because you really can't hide. You got a weight class, you got brackets, and then you just got to handle your business. I feel like the UFC was going to move in that direction, but somewhere along the way, they didn't. Maybe they never had the plan to go that route. And I know, you're talking big dollars and promotion, and there's a lot of different factors, so it doesn't play out the way that I would think it would play out. I'm an advocate for the fighters. I want them to get their money. I want them to get their shine inside of mixed martial arts and market themselves outside of mixed martial arts. I think all or most fighters, they start off with the dream of being a champion. And some people want to just be the champion, but I know everyone appreciates, because they're prize fighters. Everyone appreciates the championship payout, right? So the first matchup that I'm just pissed off won't happen, it's crazy to me that it won't happen, is Demetrius Johnson. And what makes me so mad about this is that Demetrius Johnson, hands down, will be a legend in the sport. And he'll be in that conversation of the greatest of all time. There's a problem, though. So the debate goes like this. His weight class, the UFC doesn't necessarily carry a lot of fighters for that weight class. So yeah, he's flushed out the weight class, and you got guys like TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt. These guys are like calling him out, saying, "Yo, we want to fight you. We want to fight you. Yada yada yada." Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson tells him, "Yeah, bring your tail down to 125, and let's get it popping." I believe TJ Dillashaw was down to make it happen at 125. So I really want to see TJ Dillashaw fight Demetrius Johnson. I think that would be one of Demetrius Johnson's most challenging fights because of the skill set of TJ Dillashaw. He's a wrestler. He's been working on his hands. Demetrius Johnson can test his chin, possibly, right? TJ Dillashaw can test, DJ's chin, potentially, right? Demetrius Johnson has some of the most amazing moves done in the octagon. And for that reason alone is why I need to see this man go climb the mountain and take on someone that's just a little bit out of his weight class, a little bit more of a threat than most fighters that he's gone against. He's beat the likes of Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo, I remember watching Henry Cejudo when he was going to the Olympics. He was all we could talk about. Oh, he was a young cat, the youngest Olympic champion at the time. Kyle Snyder, I believe, took that award, but Henry Cejudo was just like the story. He wrestled great. He wrestled aggressive. In wrestling, right? He gets to the UFC. He fights Demetrius Johnson. And Demetrius Johnson put them things on him, them hands on him. So, who was tougher to fight outside of that in that weight class? Ray Borg was supposed to be that man to do it. Whew. We see a combination like no other grappling combination you've seen in the last 20 years. So, for the love of everything that is mixed martial arts competition, we need to see Demetrius Johnson versus TJ Dillashaw. And it's a shame that we'll probably never see that happen. We'll probably never see TJ Dillashaw go against Demetrius Johnson. We'll get TJ Dillashaw versus Cody Garbrandt probably 3 times. We'll get TJ Dillashaw versus Dominique Cruz 3 times. Hell, Uriah Faber might come out of retirement and fight TJ Dillashaw. But we'll probably never get to see Demetrius Johnson versus Dillashaw. And to me, it really feels like just a big tease, man. It's like every single time they start talking, you hope and pray that the fight happens, but we know it's not going to happen, which is crazy. Man, it's hot in this car, man. I'm about to take this little walk while I got this going. Y'all gotta come with me, man. Yeah, so TJ Dillashaw versus Johnson, we'll probably never see that happen. Another fight that needs to happen, which probably won't. Tony Ferguson. No. Max Holloway versus Khabib. That's the fight that needs to happen. I just think Max Holloway is that dude, and him going against Khabib. Khabib has a skill set with his takedowns that would really challenge Max Holloway to really, put things together. Max Holloway likes to stay on his feet. Khabib likes to take it to the ground. The chink in Khabib's armor, everyone's starting to see, thanks to Al La Quinta, is stay in the center of the octagon and don't let him use the cage to back you down. Khabib needs that fence. You need to back up against the fence so he can, go for that high cross and then trap your legs and then, suck you down like quicksand. So, Max Holloway versus Khabib would be a great one, right? Where the hell is Conor McGregor? He's out here doing all these antics, and I think it's just so he doesn't have to really fight because he's just enjoying his money, and props to him for that. So, you can't really ask too much for a man who has a valid reason to really not be, competing when he has a newborn at home, and, he just came off of a record-breaking event against Floyd Mayweather. But if Conor McGregor decided to come back, he needs to go ahead and fight Tony Ferguson. I think it makes sense for Conor McGregor because Tony Ferguson's coming off of injury, right? And who better do you think you have a chance to sustain your legacy with than a dude that's coming off of injury? Tony Ferguson's a meritable opponent. He's been around. He's been calling out Conor McGregor for a long time. So Tony Ferguson needs some time to heal. Conor McGregor, he's dealing with his battles for, whatever you want to talk about in New York, that situation up there. So give Tony some time to heal and get back in the gym. Give Conor some more time to, get everything fixed as far as his legal matters, and then let them fight. Chances are, again, that fight won't ever happen. And the whole reason why it will never happen is just because these two people don't want it to happen. It's crazy to me. It's real crazy to me that you have these top level fighters that just don't want to battle each other. Too many egos, too many yes men around these cats, man. What's all this ducking about? If you're ranked number 1 and you fight ranked number 2 guy, and let's say the number 1 guy loses to the ranked number 2 guy, there's no shame in that. You just, have to fight the number 3 guy and get back in there. We've seen it before. We've seen John Bones Jones and Daniel Cormier. No one gets tired of seeing Daniel Cormier and John Bones Jones fight each other because they know it's all about that heart and that passion. You know what you're going to get from Daniel Cormier when he sees John Bones Jones. You know what you're going to get from John Bones Jones when he sees Daniel Cormier. And you see it definitely with John Bones Jones when he fights Daniel Cormier compared to when he fights anybody else like Alexander Gustafsson or what's that? St. Preux out of Tennessee. You don't see that asshole John Jones that you see when it's Daniel Cormier. Why? Because Daniel Cormier and John Jones, they're on the same level. That's why number one needs to fight number two. These cats here trying to protect legacies and things like that, and it's cool. All I'm saying is Tom Brady's lost football games and he's still regarded as one of the best football players in the world. LeBron James has lost championships and he's still going to history as known as the best basketball player of this generation. These guys need to be willing to go ahead and take care of business, man. You know, these people get hyped up and we get these hype fights that don't ever produce what you think they're going to do. Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou. If I would have known that Francis Ngannou didn't know a lick about wrestling, I would have never been like, oh yeah, he's going to beat Stipe. I thought this man had some lick of wrestling. And I put it out there on Twitter. I said, listen, man, I know we're in way different weight classes. I know that you might look at my pedigree in wrestling and say, why would he be a coach for me? I'm telling you right now, I can help that man learn how to wrestle a whole lot better than what he is right now. If you knew one thing about Stipe Miocic, you knew he was going to go for takedowns in that fight. He didn't want to take those claws to his chin. You got to know how to wrestle, man. You got to know how to get up off your back, off the mat. And it was easy takedowns. It was all about hand control and positioning, man. Wrist control. Let me say that. Not hand control, wrist control. Man. So all I'm saying is, like, we get these fights that get hype around them. They're like the hit it and quit it fights. They hit each other one time and you never see it again. Why? Because they're trash fights. Lopsided fights. Stipe Miocic never has to fight Francis Ngannou again because we all know what's going to happen to Francis Ngannou. That's why we get things like Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier, because Daniel Cormier can whoop Stipe's butt, and Stipe Miocic has a chance to be, you know, that fighting spirit kind of Rocky type fighter that overcomes the odds and handles his business. It's the heavyweight division, so you know the odds are in his favor. But Daniel Cormier, we all know he has trouble making 205 anyway, so you know the odds aren't really in his favor. But anyway, just to recap real fast, man, we need to see Demetrius Johnson fight TJ Dillashaw or Cody Garbrandt. We need to see Tony Ferguson fight Conor McGregor. We need to see Max Holloway fight Khabib. Let's stop playing with the world and give these people the shine they need and the time they need to go ahead and handle this fight game, man. I'm tired of playing. I'm tired of watching this bull crap, man. Michael Chandler, in my opinion, he's my favorite fighter right now because he be whooping everybody's tail in Bellator, and he's a free agent. So I'm curious to see which way he leans. They got Bellator got Aaron Pico, Michael Chandler. Man, they got a whole stock of boys over there. I don't have time because I only got 7% left on my phone. Bellator has those fights, man. It's just hard to watch them because they're on those like exclusive channels. And you know, it's 2018. Nobody's really paying for cable like that, especially these premium channels. Well, not me anyway. Not right now. Anyway, man, natural grappler. You know, we're just out here staying hydrated and vibing out. Love and peace, y'all. We're out.